Good evening and welcome to the news. I'm Dinesh Rentle, bringing you the top stories of the day. Father of the Khasi alphabet, Thomas Jones Day observed across Meghalaya. Call made to preserve Khasi language. Meghalaya Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma advocates electric vehicles for a sustainable future. The BJP government presents its first budget in West Bengal, announces a 33% reservation for women, 1 lakh jobs and a DA hike. In the FIFA World Cup, Egypt secures their first ever FIFA World Cup victory with a 3-1 comeback win over New Zealand. Let's first look at the local news. Thomas Jones Day was observed across Meghalaya today to commemorate the contributions of Welsh missionary Thomas Jones to the Khasi language and education. Speaking to the media, Dr. Hepor Uni Bang, principal of KB Memorial High Secondary School, Wapung, said Thomas Jones played a pivotal role in developing the Khasi alphabet, translating books, and promoting education in the Khasi language. He urged people, especially teachers and students, to preserve the unique features of the Khasi script and not to forget their mother tongue. Dr. Bang also stressed the importance of including Khasi in the 8th schedule of the Constitution, saying it would benefit future generations and expand opportunities for Khasi-speaking youth.
Yauni usahab ubalawan rakyat gini ki alfabet Khasi hapling jong ngajak benriu nyautrap kejongi nikot iu umenta kum uta uriu krau uriu perkhat lani ukpa jong ki alfabet Khasi hababaro karilom Khasi jantia menta kasni kaken mau I yauni usahab kisnyo to bakla bakatin Khasi ke datang na kebenta jong ki kriam nila banong lani datang na kebenta jong ki nong sora lani jong ki nong sor Henry ke I ke mga kwaban ong ipi ni katkum ke jing syam ke jonga katkum ke jing sngau thu ke jonga ba ke ktin Khasi ke dai ke ktin pedeng jong ke jela ke jongi bat kham tam jong ke rilom Khasi jantia ke jongi Henry menta ngin ya pechwa bat ngin ya snok tilang shwa ha ka ya ke ni ke ktin Khasi ke ya ka ban pinyo ya ka ta ka hok knang bakan long ke jing sok ke jing sain knang ban kan long ke jing job ya ke jing thang ke jing angnut jongi kum ke Khasi Alpha Society ban penrung ya ke ni ka tin Khasi ha ke khnit ke bak pra hapo jong ke constitution jong ke ri India knang bakan long ke jing kerku ya ka ri bat ke jing benriu ke jongi bat ya ka pateng jong ki khon ki khti ke jongi kan long ke jing snow kemen ke bakrawe ya ke sarkar Meghalaya ya ka ban penrung ya ka menta kum ka official language lani kum kata ketin kebalayo banrung hakis nak traikam lani ginu benta ki baka sarkar ka pendon kam ya ka.
Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma on Monday encouraged greater adoption of electric vehicles, also known as EVs, citing his own experience of using an EV in Shillong as proof of their practicality and cost effectiveness. Sharing his experience, Sangma said a single charge is sufficient for his daily travel within the city and noted that EVs can be conveniently charged at home, similar to charging a mobile phone. He also highlighted the lower operating costs and environmental benefits of electric vehicles, describing them as a sustainable and viable transportation option for the future.
That for some time now I have been using an EV vehicle, at least in Shillong city, and I want to take this opportunity to really encourage everyone that we must transition into EV vehicles for the long-term sustainability and overall stability. And I want to just share with you, which a lot of people sometimes question, where do we charge the vehicle? And it's very simple. The vehicle is charged at home, and it's a simple system like you charge your mobile phones. And right now my vehicle is being charged, and once charged, it goes up to almost 300 to 400 kilometers in one charge, which is enough for me in Shillong city for almost a week's time. So therefore, I encourage once again, it's a very, very practical way moving forward. It is cost effective, and definitely it's very, very friendly for the environment.
Tura MDC and BJP leader Bernard N. Marak has strongly criticized the removal of the word autonomous from official receipts and the logo of the Garo Hills Autonomous District Council, better known as the GHADC, calling it an attack on the institution's constitutional identity. Mark alleged that successive executive committees have increasingly used alternative names such as GHDC and GDC in official documents, raising concerns over attempts to dilute the council's autonomous status. He questioned whether such changes were aimed at weakening the institution and making it more dependent on the state government.
Native
Police are still awaiting the post-mortem reports of a young Hajong couple found dead near Nongthamai a week ago, even as demands for a comprehensive and impartial investigation continue to intensify. The bodies of 21-year-old Simanta Hajong from Ranikor and 22-year-old Pronomi Hajong from Balat were discovered hanging inside a roadside shed at Lumsokpo along the Shillong to Joai Road on June 14th. The two were reportedly in a relationship and worked in nearby establishments. According to reports, Pronomi was last seen leaving her workplace shortly after midnight on June 14th, while Samantha had finished work the previous evening. The location where the bodies were found is situated close to their workplaces. Authorities say the investigation is ongoing and further details are expected once the post-mortem findings are received. The Meghalaya unit of the BJP has urged Defence Minister Rajnath Singh to allot defence land in Shillong free of cost to the state government for key infrastructure projects. Addressing the media, BJP spokesperson M. Karkrang said a party delegation raised the issue with the Defence Minister, highlighting the need for land for the proposed 4-lane road from Rilbong to Barik. The project is aimed at easing traffic congestion and improving connectivity in Shillong. Karkrang said Rajnath Singh assured the delegation that the matter would be examined by the Ministry of Defence.
Earlier we had seen that there was a plan to make the 4-lane, but most important is they had discussed with him regarding the cantonment land. There's a lot of cantonment land, it's just lying vacant like that, not in use. And they had taken up the issue because earlier also it was taken up by state BJP. Basically to, if possible, to hand over that property to the state government. So that
The District Planning and Development Council meeting of Southwest Garo Hills was held at the Circuit House in Ampati on Monday under the chairmanship of Ian Botham K. Sangma. The meeting was attended by Subir Marak, district officials and representatives from various government departments. During the meeting, line departments reviewed the implementation of the Annual Plan 2026 to 27 and presented proposals for the Annual Plan 2027 to 28. Discussions focused on key sectors including roads, health, education, agriculture, water supply, tourism, sports and rural development, aimed at strengthening development initiatives across the district.
So I would like to encourage each and every one of you to come up with solutions. I would like to encourage each and every one of you to participate in this presentation that we are going to do and to take the meeting in a very, very positive way. way. So this is the purpose of the meeting. I think since we both of us are here, we can also help in some ways. You can also help us in some ways by participating.
The Chief Minister's Meghalaya Grassroots Music Program, also known as the CMMGMP, celebrated World Music Day with a summer music festival at the Interstate Bus Terminus in Tura on Sunday. The festival featured performances by local artists, bands, DJs and winners of original song competitions, showcasing Meghalaya's vibrant music scene. Rangsakona MLA Subir Marak attended the event, which aimed to promote grassroots musical talent, strengthen community engagement and boost tourism. Hundreds of music lovers attended the day-long celebration, which also featured food stalls set up by local entrepreneurs. We now move on to regional news. Renowned Karbi folk singer Pokila Lektepi, who was recently honoured with the Padma Shri, has been widely recognized for her immense contribution to preserving and promoting Karbi music and culture. Here's a report.
Nani karibia lo, kaching hangi paridia, little sing sound not fun,
The Nightingale of the Hills, Shrimati Pokila Lektepi, Padma Shri 2026. Karbi Anglong, a quaint village in Assam, home to the Karbis and Pokila Lektepi. Born to travelling theatre artists, young Pokila didn't just inherit Karbi music, she resonated with it. From an early age, she began to show prodigious talent. Obsessed with this form of music, she soon realized that her heritage was in peril. Karbi music lived only in the breath of elders, unrecorded and slipping away.
Those days, Karbi songs existed, but people didn't get the opportunity.
The hurdles were steep, poverty was a constant shadow, and tradition forbade women from the public stage. For years, Pokila remained in the background, a silent guardian of a dying art. But a voice like hers cannot be contained. Breaking free, she found her stage in the church, gathering like-minded souls and emboldening other women to join her. She traveled miles through hostile terrain, meeting elders and documenting the fading art form.
You write the lyrics, set them to a tune. We will provide whatever help possible. And through our Sangri Music Society, we'll be able to bring these songs to life.
From local AIR broadcasts to the defined production of her first cassette, Kanghon, she began to weave the Karbi soul back into the national fabric. The turning point came through a collaboration with Zubeen Garg, infusing ancient chants with modern energy to capture the hearts of a new generation. "50 years, 300 songs." She has brought Karbi music out of the hills into people's hearts. Today, Pokila remains the matriarch of Karbi music, writing, mentoring, performing, and ensuring that while she preserves the past, women of Karbi Anglong are empowered to sing their own future.
I hope our Karbi Anglong prospers further. The women of Karbi Anglong should also excel in any field. This is my dream.
Shrimati Pokhila Lektepe, Padma Shri 2026. Our Koti Koti Namaskar.
Thousands of devotees, saints and pilgrims have gathered at the revered Kamakhya temple in Guwahati as the annual Ambubachi Mela commenced on Sunday. The temple complex has been decorated for the occasion, while elaborate arrangements have been made by the administration for the smooth conduct of the festival. The ritual observance will begin with the Pravriti ceremony, following which the temple will remain closed for 3 days. The shrine is scheduled to reopen on June 26 after the Nivriti ritual. The Ambubachi Mela is one of the most significant religious festivals in the region and is celebrated as a symbol of feminine power and fertility.
अच्छा फील होता है, अपने आप को लगता है कि हम स्वतंत्र हैं इस देश में। नहीं तो इससे पहले मैं 2017 से यहाँ पे आती हूँ, तो यहाँ पे एक भय का था, डर लगता था कि आगे तो वापस जाएंगे कि नहीं जाएंगे। लेकिन जो मौजूदा सरकार का जो प्रयास रहा और हम इतनी स्वतंत्रता से जो अपना रह रहे हैं और जो कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे, ये इसी सरकार में संभव था। नहीं तो उससे पहले तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि हमें ऐसे लगता भी था कि भाई इधर डर का एक जो माहौल था वो खत्म।
जय मां कामाख्या, जय मां कामाख्या। मैं वेस्ट बंगाल से आ रही हूँ। हर साल मैं अम्बुबाची का समय इस मंदिर में आती हूँ। मेरा नाम है माता पार्वती। हर सभी को माँ की ब्लेसिंग्स मिले, हर सब जीवन में खुश रहे, शांति में रहे, और मैं माँ के पास वर्ल्ड पीस के लिए प्रे करती हूँ। जय मां कामरूप कामाख्या, कामाख्या वरदे देवी नील पर्वत वासिनीन त्वाम देवी जगन माता जोनि मुद्रे नमोस्तुते। जय मां कामरूप कामाख्या, माँ की जय।
Tripura Chief Minister Manik Saha attended a state-level workshop on the implementation of the Solid Waste Management Rules 2026 in Agartala. Addressing the gathering, the Chief Minister stressed the importance of effective waste management practices to ensure environmental sustainability and public health. He called for greater coordination among government departments, local bodies and citizens to achieve cleaner and healthier urban and rural areas. The workshop focused on strengthening the implementation of waste management regulations and promoting scientific disposal and recycling practices across the state.
আজকে এখানে আমরা স্বচ্ছ অ্যাপ আমাদের দেখুন অনেক জিনিস কিন্তু যেটা মনে হচ্ছে যে এটা ঠিক না, আমরা আমার সরকার করে আমরা একটা অ্যাপ বানিয়েছি এবং সেখানে কিন্তু মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রীজিও তার স্বীকার করেছেন, খুব সুন্দর একটা কাজ করেছেন। আমরা যেমন প্রতি সপ্তাহে ওয়াকিং ভিলেজ করেছি, যারা সেখানে যারা আমাদের জনপ্রতিনিধিরা আছেন সেখানে যাচ্ছেন সাপ্তাহিক দিন, সেই ওয়াকিং ভিলেজে প্রতি বৃহস্পতিবারে সেখানেও আপলোড করার ব্যবস্থা রয়েছে। এখন দেখুন এখানেই কিন্তু সচ অ্যাপের মাধ্যমে সেখানে একইভাবে ফটো তুলেও আপনি সেটাকে আপলোড করতে পারেন এবং টাইমলাইনের মধ্যে সেটাকে অ্যাকশন হচ্ছে কিনা সেটাও কিন্তু এখন গ্রহণ করা যাবে।
The grand finale of Miss Universe Manipur 2026 was held at the Chandra Kriti Auditorium in Imphal, where Thadoy Yumnam was crowned Miss Universe Manipur 2026. The event witnessed the participation of contestants from across the state and celebrated talent, confidence and cultural heritage. Speaking on the occasion, State Director of Miss Universe Manipur and noted fashion designer Robert Naurem highlighted the platform's role in empowering young women and promoting Manipur on the national stage. The winner, Thadoy Yumnam, expressed gratitude for the recognition and pledged to represent the state with pride at higher levels of the competition. The National Testing Agency has dismissed claims circulating on social media that the NEET UG 2026 re-examination question paper was leaked on Telegram before the test. In a statement, the NTA said the examination was conducted successfully under strict security and surveillance measures. The agency termed the circulation of such misleading content a serious offence and said action is being taken against those responsible with the support of law enforcement and cybercrime agencies. The NTA has urged students and parents to rely only on official sources for information and to avoid sharing unverified content. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer on Monday announced his resignation, highlighting his government's achievements during 2 years in office. In an emotional address at Downing Street, Starmer said his administration had strengthened the economy, increased investment in infrastructure and defence, and improved protection for workers and renters. He also reflected on rebuilding the Labour Party after a period of internal challenges and leading it to a decisive electoral victory. Following the announcement, Labour lawmaker Andy Burnham said he would enter the contest to succeed Starmer as Prime Minister.
A new Labour government, the chance to change the lives of millions of people for the better. That's what I came into politics for. 6 years ago, I inherited a Labour Party that was politically, financially, and morally bankrupt. I was told time and time again that my party was finished, that we were consigned to history, that a majority at the general election, let alone a landslide majority, was impossible. But we proved those people wrong, because we changed our party, ripping out the poison of anti-Semitism, restoring trust on the economy, defence and national security, and becoming a party that once again stood proudly with, not against, our national flag.
Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi arrived in New Delhi to participate in the 16th meeting of BRICS National Security Advisors and High Representatives on National Security. The two-day meeting brings together senior security officials from BRICS member countries to discuss key regional and global security issues. Wang is attending the meeting at the invitation of Ajit Doval. The discussions are expected to focus on strengthening cooperation among BRICS nations on security and strategic matters. Egypt secured their first ever FIFA World Cup victory with a 3-1 comeback win over New Zealand on Sunday, moving to the top of Group G and strengthening their hopes of reaching the knockout stage. New Zealand took an early lead through Finn Sermon, but Egypt responded in second half with goals from Mustafa Zizo, captain Mohamed Salah and Trezeguet. Salah also provided an assist as Egypt claimed all 3 points. The victory takes Egypt to 4 points from 2 matches, while New Zealand remain at the bottom of the group with 1 point. And now for the weather report. In Tura, the minimum temperature was 23 degrees Celsius with the maximum at 30 degrees Celsius and relative humidity at 85%. Rainfall came in at 7.4 millimeters. In Shillong, the minimum temperature was 19 degrees Celsius with the maximum rising to 25 degrees Celsius and relative humidity at 85%. Rainfall was measured at 8.7 millimeters. Meanwhile, in July, the minimum temperature was 19 degrees Celsius with the maximum at 24 degrees Celsius and relative humidity at 84% with rainfall at 1.4 millimeters. The forecast in Tura, Shillong and July say rain with thunderstorm is likely to occur at many places. And before we wrap up, here is a quick recap of today's headlines. Father of the Khasi alphabet, Thomas Jones Day observed across Meghalaya, a call made to preserve the Khasi language. Meghalaya Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma advocates electric vehicles for a sustainable future. The BJP government presents its first budget in West Bengal, announces 33% reservation for women, 1 lakh jobs and a DA hike. And in the FIFA World Cup, Egypt secured their first ever FIFA World Cup victory with a 3-1 comeback win over New Zealand. That's all the news we have for you today. Thanks for watching. We'll be back same time tomorrow. Take care.
Draw Egypt's first ever FIFA victory. In national news first, a BRICS National Security Advisors meeting got underway today in New Delhi. Chaired by National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, the two-day meeting brings together security chiefs